We bet the Kyron Paris yesterday and unabated, and I guess that was a rough beat.
Oh no, we down. Bring on Robo-umps. Well, intro remix with the Robo-umps, talking Robo-umps with Milo. Very few things frustrate me more than just missed calls, like just blatant. It is frustrating when everybody has money on the line. Welcome to MLB Prop Picks Show, powered by the Bat on Covers. Thanks for joining us here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:30 a.m. Good day to everybody there in the chat. Smash that like button despite Kyron Paris. It's there. We've tried it. It's tough. Spencer Arrighetti was a tough one yesterday. They're like guys are dealing. We're gonna get to Bailey Falter, which I like today. Obviously, I mean the jumping things, but like some guys are just out here just spinning, and it's tough right now.
Yeah, it's been a rough stretch, no doubt about it. I've dropped quite a bit the last, I don't know, half a week or so.
Yeah.
The markets moved quick this morning, so we don't have a ton to give out. Yeah, Josh Bell the other day had a 3-0 count and didn't get his walk. Like it was just it's been rough lately. Yesterday, if anyone bet the Johnny DeLuca thing, like he was great going into the 9th inning, didn't get our pinch hit, got his strikeout in the 9th inning. Like just stuff like that is just brutal. The Kyron Paris walk yesterday, he was right there, but that's the nature of this. It's a long season. We're gonna have that, and we're gonna get the opposite side of it sometimes too. So we just get back on the horse.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Weather's changing. Weather's getting nice. Let's go. Good morning to Adam. Good day to everybody. Did we get those socials out, the early ones? Did you see if they went? They did go out?
Yeah, they went out. I don't know, half hour ago maybe, or
okay, so they're probably moved. So we have released Woo under 6.5 Ks, -138. That was at FanDuel. And Graham Ashcraft under 4.5 strikeouts, +128 at 365. Those were some early releases, just trying to get ahead of some line movement today. Thursdays, the thing start. Fridays, I don't know. More people obviously betting on Fridays, I would assume. Always moves the markets a little more, so let's get right to it. There we go. Is Ashcraft still good at +115? So 13 points off the release number.
It's fine. I don't love it. It's kind of like that's a borderline spot for me. I probably wouldn't have thrown it out on a show, at that number, but it shows enough value where I think you can bet it.
Yeah. So when you see Derek make that face means yes, it's still plus EV, but it's not plus EV enough to say like on a slate like today to be like, yeah, I'm betting that for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're seeing Woo at -170, so that's gone. +120 at Patano.
Yeah, if you want to do Woo now, a couple of books have flipped down to the 5.5. So I think FanDuel's +120, Rivers is +114. Last I looked, if there's a +125 out there, I like that better than I like the 6.5 at like -180 or -200.
All right, let's get right to it. If you're looking for these numbers, looking for projections, looking to do your own sniffing, head over to Covers, head over to MLB Prop Projections, sort by matchups, sort by markets, and head over to the analysis there. If you're looking for some more insight into the bet, look, we got them 5 stars a pop. And Adam Duvall on that front page looks pretty good today. 1.5 total bases. I got him under 1.5 total bases, -115, I think, today. Nice fading guys who hit $190 on the year. This is the release procedure here. We'll tell you the book we're betting at, hopefully some secondary books, the game, the player, the prop, and then the over-under on that. Then give us a heads up and let us know where it's moving and what it is. Weird line movement on Woo this morning. What's better typically? 6.5 -150 versus 5.5 +125. I would say, I think you can probably jump on that, but I think 150 is not the bad, 150 is not a bad number on there. No, like usually you see that jump over kind of 180, 190, and then it jumps to the 125. So I would say value on the 50.
Yeah, I don't mind the 150. I think they're going to be pretty comparable. I think it's always going to depend on the situation and the pitcher, but I think the 125 is probably a little bit better value.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. And know which books kind of at their tilting point too. I know Bet 365 is about minus 180, and then it flips to about the plus 125. So know what books so you can wait and see what it is. Let's get right to it. First off the hop, we are at Hard Rock. Look at us. Dropping Hard Rock. 365 did have the same price maybe 5 minutes ago. And I believe this is Producer Mick's first Hard Rock interface experience. So let's go. Pittsburgh, Toronto, pitcher outs. $5 points.
Yeah, we'll still take it.
Let's go. Bailey, Falter, under 17.5 outs, minus 120. Let me just jump over. I want to see if the minus 115. Let me know if the minus 115 is there at 365 right now. Who's out there? So if you were on Falter the last outing, Derek, and we were, guy goes 97 pitches. His high before that, he was 85 pitches before. He was averaging 76 pitches in his last, 8 starts before they stretched him out. And I know this is priced into your model. Over pitching and then following the next start.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a chance that because he went so deep last time, they pull him back a little bit here. That one really does look like an outlier regardless. Like, he's not a guy that they ever let throw that many pitches. He is, like you said, more of like a 78, 80 pitch, maybe 85 kind of guy, and that's it. It's tough to go 6 innings on that. I'm expecting them to pull his leash back towards that area because he's really not a good pitcher. He's gone over this number like 3, 4, I think 5 times this year out of his 10 starts. But in every single one of those starts, he's had a BABIP under 200, which, except for last time, which I think was like 227. So like, he's just gotten there because he's just not allowing hits. And so they're not driving the pitch count up. They're not extending the innings. That's got to stop. That's got to stop. Guys don't have 199 BABIPs long-term. They just don't. Falter's ERA is like 3.5 and his xFIP is close to 5. That's more of the guy that he is. The matchup today is, he's facing a.
No, he's coming down on the Blue Jays. That's
what should be a good Blue Jays offense. I don't know how to describe them, but they should be a good Blue Jays offense. He's getting a park downgrade. The bat's projecting about 14.5 here. So yeah, I'm good with this one on Falter. Unless that low BABIP continues, like, it should be tough for him to get there.
JPC, correct. Well done.
They've been bad this year, but they still have so much talent in that lineup. Like, they have to start getting better.
Oh, you sound like management right now. But that's a great point. And like, he was under, I think we had him at under 4.5 strikeouts in the last one. He went deep and like he got it like on the second last guy. So The majority, like you said, the majority of those outs were balls in play, and his balls in play number is just way too low to keep carrying over. And it was just one of those guys. It's like when you see pitchers get hit early in counts, it means batters are seeing them well, and they just don't put them in play. And sometimes you can take advantage of that, and hopefully the guy's on it. Josh on fire this morning. Yahtzee, don't bring it up. I've been getting heat in YouTube for talking too much. Josh talks too much. Does he know that? He's the only one that must like to hear his voice. I can take it. Let's go. Next release. Moving on. 2 plays. Can't talk too much. This was the first one that I saw this morning that I jumped on immediately. D-backs at Mets. We're at 365. Secondary books include, I think everything's about 10 points off.
Yeah, this one, pretty much every book has something close that looks just fine to bet to. A bunch are 5 points off, I think. DK, MGM.
Producer Mick got that spinning wheel of death going on. Let's go. D-backs Mets. We're going to go pitcher walks while we fight through whatever this is. Oh, it's on. He's back. There he goes. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. What an interesting story about worst team in baseball. Did you read that yesterday? Like, The guy who threw his glove. The guy who threw his glove.
Oh, yeah, I did. Was that Jorge?
Like, English is his second language too, right? And they're like, just to confirm, you think this is the worst team in baseball? No, he said he was the worst teammate in baseball. Yeah. Oh, stupid journalists. Let's go. All right, we're going walks. We're going Monty at the plus 140, under 1.5 walks, plus 140. Jordan Lefty, Montgomery, plus 140. We're seeing some plus 120s in other spots. The leash, I think you've, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think you've kind of adjusted Montgomery a little more because he looks like he's on like an innings cap. 77 pitches, 18 outs flat, you're done. That's kind of where they want to get Monty right now.
Yeah, they've been pulling him early at some point. In some games, the bat's actually projecting him pretty aggressively. I feel like today, 92 pitches, close to 6 innings, and it still really likes the under here. He's a guy who, he had the late start to the year with the contract thing, and he hasn't looked quite as sharp as he has in years past. But he still is a guy who has good control, has the potential to come out early sometimes because that's what they're doing with him. And he's facing a very low walk Mets offense. So I like this one. The bat's projecting, I think, 1.2 or 1.3 or something like that.
Yeah, it's a high win percentage, plus 140.
Yeah, it's like a 60% win rate at plus 140, which looks great.
Yeah, looking back, obviously, if you're just looking at his last 5 starts, I think he's gone over this in 3 of the 2. Yeah. Went under in the last one, obviously, but only threw 77 pitches. But this is a guy over the last 3 seasons, a walk basically every 4 innings, a little less. So that's kind of what more to expect than a smaller sample size over his last 3. But pitcher walks markets have been very good this year. Milo, yes, pitcher walk markets have been one of our favorites. They're sweaty. They're not fun to watch, especially with an early walk on the under 1.5s. But you were getting guys like George Kirby under 0.5 at plus 180, which is always the books are scared to put that number. They'll take George Kirby minus 220, 1.5, but they don't want to set that plus 180. It has been. And plus 140s are great. We talk about it all the time. So just 2 plays in there today, plus the releases, or plus the social releases also. So today, Bailey Falter under 17.5 outs, minus 120 at home, at Toronto. And then Jordan Montgomery under 1.5 walks, plus 140. Do you have numbers off the top of your head? Not even numbers, just what that park is like in Toronto with open versus closed? Because we're starting to hit the open months.
So the way it works basically in Toronto is that they close it when it's cold, so it plays around 70 degrees, and then they keep it open when it's warm, which it never gets that hot in Toronto, really, especially not now. It's like 70. Well, I mean,
no, it gets hot here.
I guess it does, but at this point in the year, it doesn't get that hot. It's I think 72 degrees there today or something. So it's more or less the same as it plays with the roof closed today, just because it's going to be around that same temperature regardless. There will be a little bit of a wind factor. I don't know what it is today, but it's more or less neutral overall in terms of the weather.
There you go. That's a great answer. I appreciate it. So there's nothing worse than digging through people's vlog posts or pod, you know what I mean? Hey, here's Billy's blog. Hey, from 2020 or from 2021, you're I think I need better numbers, but that's good to know. Don't have to worry about it too much. Those 2 plays plus the 2 social releases. Let's have a weekend, everybody. Stay tuned for NHL Puck Props with myself and Carlo at 10. Before you bet with Joe Osborne at 12. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't already. Be safe, have fun, enjoy your weekend. I'm Josh Ingles. He's Derek Carty. This is MLB Prop Picks powered by the Bat on Covers. We'll see you back here Tuesday next week, 9:30 a.m.